18 years after the murder of a Modesto woman and her unborn baby, the California Supreme Court overturns the death penalty for her husband. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Barbara Lee Edwards.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. The California Supreme Court today overturned Scott Peterson's death sentence. The San Diego native was arrested near La Jolla back in 2003 for the slaying of his wife Lacey and their unborn child. News 8's Kelly Hessedall spoke to a legal expert and explains.
Well, the California Supreme Court upheld Scott Peterson's guilty conviction. However, it overturned his death sentence. The reasoning it gave centers around jury selection. It's a case that gained worldwide attention, the murder of Lacey Peterson and her unborn baby back in 2003. The man convicted of killing her husband, Scott Peterson. Here's his most recent mugshot from 2018. Today, the California Supreme Court issued this decision, reversing his death sentence, stating potential jurors were dismissed erroneously.
When they were choosing the jurors at the very beginning, they asked them certain questions, how they felt about the death penalty. And some of the jurors said, I don't feel good about the death penalty. Then they were asked a follow-up question, well, could you impose it in this case if you felt the facts deserved it? And they said, yes, I could. But they were removed from the jury, and so they were left with jurors who were more pro-death penalty.
Gretchen Von Helms is not associated with this case, but she's been a criminal defense attorney for years. She says the high court determined it violated Peterson's due process to have a pro-death penalty jury.
What you're striving for as a trial judge is to have a fair and impartial jury.
She says prosecutors now have two choices. They can either leave the case alone and Peterson will serve out a life sentence, or they can retry the death penalty phase of the trial.
What do you predict will happen? Do you think that the prosecutors will take him back to trial again?
I think they're going to weigh very heavily what the victim's family wants in this case. What the family have to decide is, do we want to go through the pain and the suffering and reliving all this and testifying on camera all over again and going through this horrible process, and he may not get the death penalty anyway.
And if Peterson is given the death penalty again, the case would end up going through the appeals process all over again, which could take several years. Barbara Lee, Carlo.
Thank you, Kelly.